What's up, gamer? Brett here, and I'm scripting this video fast and hard because the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be getting announced any day now. In fact, if we want to start off with bold claims, there will be an announcement of the announcement posted on Twitter on January 15th, with the announcement itself on the following day, January 16th. If my confidence and/or schizophrenia hasn't enticed you to stay yet, I've developed the perfect mathematical system based on historical data to definitively say what we'll see in the Nintendo Switch 2's first year of life. So stay a while, go ahead and slip those shoes off and grab a drink. Hang out with your favorite water buffalo and enjoy what I think we'll see in the first year of the Nintendo Switch 2, and let me know what you want in the comments, or call me a dumbass or whatever. First, we've got to talk about the actual launch month, and I believe the key to that is Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. With it launching on March 20th, 2025, I firmly believe it is the last announced strictly Nintendo Switch game we'll have for the rest of the year. Of course, that leaves a small gap between Donkey Kong Country Returns later this month and March, but I expect those months to either be incredibly quiet or filled with ports of previous games, such as Kirby Planet Robobot or the long-fabled Wind Waker HD port. If we got Wind Waker HD, that means we would just need one more Wii U port before we have all the games that could be feasibly ported or wanted to be ported. Looking at you, Ultra Smash. No one wants you. All of this leads me to believe that we're in for an April or May launch for the Switch 2, which frankly is brilliant timing as April would be the start of Nintendo's fiscal year, and believe me, they would want to hit the year running. So I'm leaning more towards April, with Nintendo wanting to release it then in order to celebrate my birthday. It's kind of an apology by them for suspending my Twitch account for playing the Switch Online playtest for 20 minutes. Based on the console launches for the Wii, Wii U, and Nintendo Switch, I noticed that launch day has one thing every single time. One strictly single-player game, and one multiplayer game for your family and friends. All signs point towards these April titles being Metroid Prime 4 Beyond and Mario Kart 9. Since the release of ARMS, the Mario Kart team has been mostly spread between smaller projects like Mario Kart Home Tour and the Mario Kart 8 Booster Pass, which are mostly smaller projects that aren't as resource intensive, meaning they've had more than enough time to nail down Mario Kart 9 to be the major multiplayer title for the Switch 2 launch. Personally, I would love to see that take shape in the form of Mario Kart 8 course design and mechanics, but with the character swapping mechanics of Double Dash. It would be a great time to include pairs of other racers from other Nintendo franchises too, like Kirby and DDD, Springman and Min-Min, maybe even a Zelda to accompany Link on the racetrack. May is going to see the release of The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess Ultra HD, the long-fabled Switch port with a twist. Thanks to the new tech upgrades for the Switch 2, we'll see this as a complete graphical overhaul to showcase what the Switch 2 can do with DLSS and ray tracing very early on in its life cycle. I just see this as being more likely than Wind Waker because it's more likely to benefit from the enhancements without ruining the art style, which is why Wind Waker got released prior to Switch 2 launch. June is a month for me and my friends SNG and a talking sock alone because it's ARMS 2 month, baby. It's finally time, and it's going to be the first major Nintendo Switch Online title from Nintendo. We'll see a sweep of improvements equal to the glow-up Splatoon received going to Splatoon 2, and like I said before, the Mario Kart team had a lot of dev time on their hands, so they're not going to have any issue getting those two games out in the first year. I personally think that when it comes to ARMS 2, there's a lot that Nintendo could do to make the game more engaging, especially to like the broader FGC community, if they really doubled down on how fluid the movement is and attacking into that, as well as other rewards like customization, skins, that kind of thing, but that's a video for another time. So if that's something you guys want to see separately, my thoughts on what an ARMS 2 looks like before it inevitably launches in June. Man, the word inevitably is hard. But if you guys want to see that, let me know in the comments. July is going to see a little tiny break because you are going to be playing ARMS 2 and you're going to like it and you're going to compete in the BWCS and you're going to be happy about it and you're going to love it. You're going to love your life. It's going to be so good. It's going to be great. But going into August, it's going to be another month with two titles. Pokemon Legends ZA and the last Mario Sports title to receive a new entry, a new Mario Sluggers game. Both of these games are probably going to be compatible between both consoles with extra graphical and performance improvements on Switch 2. And you know we gotta finish out the summer with Splat Timber. This time Nintendo put a little bit more breathing room between ARMS and Splatoon, so that way ARMS fans can finally shut the hell up about not having enough time between the two games. By the way, ARMS fans, you can play both games. Even if Splatoon releases, you can keep playing ARMS, it's okay. No one's gonna hurt you, and SNG is harmless. As the weather gets a little colder, a little bit spookier, we're gonna see a new graphical showcase game in October in the form of Luigi's Mansion 4. The Luigi's Mansion series has always been an excellent example of how to juice the most power out of Nintendo's current console in order to provide gorgeous graphics that punch way beyond their league, and this isn't going to be any exception. A game like this upscaled to 4K with ray tracing? Oh, my eyes can't wait. And with that, we begin almost Christmas time with the releases of a new Donkey Kong Country and the next generation of Pokemon in November. I expect Donkey Kong Country will be exclusive to the Switch 2, while Pokemon is once again cross-generation with performance enhancements on Switch 2 hardware. I personally would love to see the next-gen Donkey Kong game get the Mario Odyssey treatment, but more heavily focused on 2D platforming than what Odyssey was, kind of like a reverse of it. January is typically a lighter month, so if there is anything at all here, I would expect it to be a 3DS port with greatly enhanced visuals. So let's go ahead and slap Kid Icarus Uprising in there for funsies. Yeah, why not? Yeah, that sounds good. I expect a small month here, so you can play more ARMS though, overall. February is most commonly associated as a month of snow, love, and most importantly, Nintendo knowing I'll do anything to make my girlfriend happy, which is why they'll be releasing a new Animal Crossing game that she'll have to have, so I buy a second Switch 2, so we can stay nice and cozy inside, sipping hot chocolate, and once again, getting to fill our greatest fantasy, successfully paying off home loans without falling into a mountain of debt. Lastly, that brings us to March, the end of the first year of the Nintendo Switch 2. How will Nintendo cap off the year? Pikmin 5? A new Fire Emblem? The next Super Smash Bros. Perhaps? No, we'll be getting Xenoblade Chronicles X2. I'm Brett Wills, thank you for liking and subscribing to my TED Talk.